Hey guys, it's scammer time. All right. Here we go. Another storagetreasures.com Pokemon card scam. This time we have Richard Cintron. He's our scammy whammy scumbag of the video. Don't worry, we're going to find out everything we need to, and you know what? Why don't we just talk to him? We're going to do just that later in the video. For now, I do need to remind you guys briefly that there is new Rattle Beer merch. Links in the description. Beer Nurse merch, rather. Links in the description. Hoodies are a one-time special order only. As always, stickers are available with hoodie purchase or ready to go immediately on eBay. 100 printed. That's it. That's all. One and done. You know how we like to roll. Once again, situation here is very staged. I know Desolator is likely going to tell people this is real. The boxes are not resealed, etc. I'm sure once again he would think everything is real and not, definitely not staged. Nothing is staged. It would never be staged, guys. Don't worry. I think there are a couple magic cards in the unit as well. So if you'd like to make a video, once again, I extend my offer. He can use me as a reference, by all means. I'll do all the work for you, Desolator, and you don't have to look like an idiot. So this all takes place in October of 2021. So about a year ago, our boy Simon, who we will hear from shortly, got ripped off on the $1,000 deposit he sent Richard to hold the unit. If anyone else happened to lose money to this clown, please reach out to me, and we're going to make it right. So unfortunately, there's no actual way back to the listing itself. There's no record of it in the archives, but we do have images. That's why it's important, guys and girls. Always, if you see something fishy, screenshot the living hell out of it. Screenshot it, no matter what. Do it right away. People like to delete things. Sometimes things go missing because they are definitely against the rules, etc. So what do we have here? We have somebody that used multiple burner numbers. Don't worry. Your boy Rattle can find his actual phone number, and we're going to. So that we can talk to him to clear things up and see if he wants to make it right. But here we have it. We have two different addresses that were used also. There's one here. There's one in the video. I guess the public service announcement that was put out by Simon that we'll take a look at. So fake address, fake numbers, burner numbers, not a real company. At this time it says private seller Richard Cintron. Like, I don't know what the qualifiers are to list on the storagetreasures.com website, but I feel like they probably need to tighten that up a little bit. It looks like they're pretty easy to scam on here, especially when people are asking to leave the platform, which most are probably going to do. People want to get a deal. People want to get in there early. And the people that are faking these auctions, these storage units, I don't even think this one's an actual storage unit. It kind of just looks like a shed that they put together to make look like a storage unit. Again, super duper staged. All right, so before we take a look at the statement made by Simon, the person that was ripped off for $1,000, that put the deposit on it, that was thinking about going to see the unit before they were advised that the items were resealed by other members in the community. I'd like to say thank you to him for providing a lot of the information that I needed in order to find our perp, Richard. Yeah, Richard, we found you. And this is embarrassing, I guess, for any Pokemon collector to kind of admit that someone duped you, even if they only duped you for a little while and that you didn't go all the way through with it. But hopefully we can get the $1,000 back to him. And hopefully if anyone else was scammed by the same person, which I wouldn't be surprised if they were, that they get their money back as well. We're going to turn everything over to the authorities. We know exactly what's going on here, who did it, and we're going to point them in the right direction. But here it is. Here's the statement. So we'll listen to this, then we'll take a look at the evidence, the photos, right afterwards. So don't worry if we breeze by too many things in this video.
Hey everyone, so there is a huge scam going on right now with an online storage unit, and I wanted to bring it to light so everyone can be aware and not fall for this trap because it's scary. A little bit of backstory. So about last week I came across this storage unit that was up for sale and had a bunch of old cards, a bunch of sealed Pokemon boxes, and it was going up for auction, and it looked like a really good. So this is the listing here. As you can see, lots and lots of stuff. As you can see, lots of great stuff, lots of very expensive sealed boxes, and I basically made a deal with Richard, the owner, to fly up to Reading in Philly and do a cash deal with him. So just before I was supposed to fly up, the person that I was going to actually go in and do this deal with, who I'll just keep their name out for now, got a tip off that basically this was potentially a scam, that these were resealed boxes, the whole thing was completely staged. And so immediately our bullshit radar was firing off, and so we reached out to Richard, the owner, if that's even his real name, for some close-up photos of the boxes specifically, so we could get a better idea of whether these have been resealed. And so this is just one example of, well, look at that. That is a bendy crimp if I've ever seen one. Something's up there. So upon realizing this is obviously completely bullshit and a complete scam, we bailed and said, no deal, you know, like basically go fuck yourself. But then something very interesting happened this morning. He has relisted the bidding. And what's really interesting is that this time, different phone number, different location. Reported this to the website and PayPal and all that kind of stuff, but it's scary. So everyone just like keep an eye out, always ask for close-up photos, because it is like, this is a very legitimate, very scary staged scam. And if you're not careful, you could be out a lot of money. We were talking tens of thousands of dollars for this deal. So just a PSA for the community, be careful.
All right, beautiful. So as we saw there, there's some stuff that stands out for sure. We're going to take a look at the photos now. But again, thank you, Simon, for sharing this with everyone when you did, back when you posted it last year. But also thanks for sharing it with me, so that hopefully not only can we restore whatever was taken from people from the scam itself, but so we can at least scare them into not doing it again. So this can at least go on the law enforcement's radar that this is what he's doing, just in case he's still doing it. I would like to think that he's not going to do it anymore after getting a phone call, but you never know. These are dumb criminals, and they'll do anything to take money from people without doing honest work of any kind. It's ridiculous. And I applaud you and anyone else that exposes the people that scam them. Yes, it sucks that you got scammed. Even if I can't retrieve the money for the people that were scammed, if it can prevent people from being scammed in the future, then I think that's an overall win. If we can do both, even better. All right, the text messages. Now, you guys are going to see kind of a pattern in here, and people get a little bit blinded when there's a lot of money on the line, when they're trying to be the first one to pick something up, to find a deal, etc. People get a little bit irrational, and so some blinders come on. But there's definitely some red flags within the conversations here, definitely some red flags within the unit itself. We're going to take a look through the text. We're going to take a look through the images of the unit. And again, good job, Simon, for taking pictures of all this stuff, for saving all this stuff, because it paid off. It absolutely paid off. And I didn't see this right away, but yeah, now we did. And now hopefully we resolve this issue. We get rid of this person from the hobby, from what they're trying to take advantage of others. Okay, we're on track here. We're taking a look at the messages. We have, okay, Simon, and yeah, cash and everything in the unit will be the same way as well. So Simon says, okay, mate, you got a deal. Do you have any more photos? Also, can you confirm the address? We should meet you at the storage unit. Let me get back to you a bit later today on timing. But before I do, is there a time window that works best for you? And Scammy Richard says, nah, that's about it. That was on the website. Still have them though. And 1060 Morgantown Road, Reading, PA 19607 is the address. I will meet you and open gate. So this is a different address than what was posted on the listing itself. Both of the multiple addresses that this individual uses happen to be very close to one another. So I don't know if it's just whatever is convenient that's abandoned or whatever that he can meet somebody outside of. It's hard to say even at this point that if you meet this person, if he's gonna have the unit there. or if he's just telling you to meet him somewhere and if he's going to take the money from you. So that's another very sketchy thing. If you're meeting somebody out in some like random parking lot at a bad time of day or night, and they're there and they're ready to beat your ass and take your money and you don't get anything, whether it's fake or not to begin with, I guess at that point maybe I guess they don't have money to afford the real items to put in their storage shed to pretend that they have them there. But I'm on your time. The fast, the better. So a lot of the time when you have people scamming you, they'll often make it seem like you're kind of limited on time, that they want to make things, they want to speed things up to see if they're actually going to get the reward from their scam. And so it's always a red flag. If they're in a hurry to get the deal done over wanting to do it properly, bad news, absolutely bad news. You're gonna want to stay away from that kind of stuff. So hey, there might be a little bit out of order here. We have Simon who says, "Oh really? Sorry to hear that. Would you be open to 20 to 25k cash?" And Richard says, "I would do 30k without website on private deal, and we would still need to meet at the facility." Simon says, "Yeah, happy to meet there. That's not a problem. Could we meet in the middle and go with 27k? Damn, I was expecting each box 10k, but when will this happen?" I don't know why he's turning French, but we got to do this separate, boys. I know people are going to yell at me if I don't. Simon, would this weekend work for you? Maybe Sunday? Yeah, that's the day I was planning it. Okay, cool. And sorry, what's your name? Richard. And you? He's not actually French. He's I think he's Puerto Rican. So I don't know if I can do a Puerto Rican accent, but we're gonna go with whatever French cowboy comes out of my mouth. I'm on your time. The fast, the better. Faster. Perfect. Richard, do you prefer cash or can we wire you via PayPal? I don't know if that counts as a wire with PayPal. Would rather cash, but would be nice if you wire a little on the same day. You're coming to pick everything up, so I know you're really coming up to you. Okay. Okay, so that we actually have a deal this time. I'm a man of my word, and I promise you that we will have 30k cash in your hand on Sunday morning, and I hope you can keep yours too. Does this sound fair? I want to feel confident in you as much as you feel confident in me. 100% deal, brother. My word. And tomorrow you can do a deposit. I'll give you a call before I give you my PayPal. Okay, mate. Then you have a deal. So here's the PayPal transaction. It was sent to Enrich Gaming, which is kind of funny. If you're scamming people, you're gonna leave a trail regardless of what you do, but you probably don't want to do PayPal transactions and rip people off for thousands of dollars. Just a little bit of foreshadowing there. You sent Enrich Gaming 1,000 USD storage deposit. So Simon made a little bit of a mistake here. They sent PayPal friends and family, which was a terrible idea because it is very hard to retrieve that without having to go through law enforcement, which is necessary regardless, because even if he's not ripping them off, he's going to rip somebody off and it needs to be shut down completely. Simon says, "Okay, great. Hi, Richard. Wanted to follow up and see if you would be able to send some fresh photos from from inside the unit, specifically of the Pokemon boxes up close. Also, in terms of logistics, are you okay if we inspect the unit and its it's supposed to say, it says connects, but contents probably, before we make the transaction?" "Yeah, brother. I got to do the same with the cash and I got to drive there. I'll give you some new photos with today's date written on the paper too." So, a little bit of since he's gonna drive there, so it's not like crazy far. Clearly it's not right at his house or anything like that, but it seems like it's slightly out of the way, which helps me narrow down which Richard we need to give a phone call to. Made it very easy that he kind of approximates how long it takes him to get to these made-up locations. Thanks, that will be helpful. As many pics as you can, and yeah, just close-ups of the boxes would be great. Okay, no problem. Can I please keep one of the PlayStation games? I think that could be okay. Which game? Spyro with a W. And also have Tomb Raider. Okay. Thanks. I'll be getting pictures in a few. So this is like a probably a little add-on kind of like made-up story that that scammers like to do. Clearly, he doesn't actually want a couple of the PlayStation games. This is just full BS. Maybe this also lends its the fact that clearly he has some sort of gaming knowledge. If his PayPal is coming up under Enrich Gaming, which I'm not sure if it's the enrichgaming.com website. Haven't really pieced that part together, but it wouldn't surprise me. So it'd be just some kind of failed video game flipper dipper 69 that is now ripping people off with fake storage auctions. Okay, thanks. I'll be getting pictures in a few. Again, just want to get fresh photos of the unit and thanks. That will be helpful. As many pics as you can. Wait. Just want to get fresh photos of the unit and close-ups of the Pokemon boxes. 100% Simon, got you when I'm done here. Thanks, mate. Then we have thanks, mate. Hey, Richard, how's it going with those photos? Hey, out eating with wife. I'll definitely have them to you in about 2 hours or less. Thumbs up. I got you, brother. All right, so we got here where he says if he's got to eat and then he's got to drive to the location. It sounds like he's probably, somewhere less than 2 hours, clearly. If he's eating and he's out eating and he's got to go home and then he's got to go to the location, the storage location, less than 2 hours away. We got a pretty good radius of where he's probably located. Next slide. All right, we might have to move our super high-tech technology, super analytical tools here in order to see the entirety of this. We might have to make ourselves a little bit smaller in the process. Here we go. No, ignore that. I am not going to edit it out. Here we go. We got some boxes. So right away, you see the boxes here. They're all in the snazzy dazzy cases to the extreme. So clearly, the person that had these or has these knows what they're worth. Right? This wasn't like it was left since 1999 kind of deal. It wasn't left since, I guess it'd be like early 2000s if it's got Aquapolis and stuff like that. But that's not the only thing in here. A couple pictures are the same here. The wrap already looks kind of suspicious. We got a little bit of wear and tear on the boxes, the booster boxes themselves, but it looks like the wrap is pretty pristine. And there's a reason for that. The wrap. Let's zoom in here with our super analytical plus. The wrap, yes, if you guys are fans of the channel and have watched videos on the channel, this is the fake Etsy wrap. You can tell by the shape, the size, the lack of characteristics, the different characteristics of these Wizards logos, especially the fact that it doesn't have the copyright R after Wizards of the Coast. These are cheapy deepy Etsy wrap that we're dealing with here. We got all kinds of damage on the boxes and zero damage on the actual wrap itself. So you got pristine wrap. They didn't bother to scuff it up. Even if they do scuff it up, you got to be looking for that it's scuffed on the inside of the box. Clearly here, there's indications that these boxes were opened and they weren't like just barely opened. These things were opened and beat around quite a bit. If you haven't seen it, we got a few videos on the channel. I'll put those, maybe I'll link those down below, with the Argent Dillon stuff, and also just this one on the bottom here. This is a classic we got 11 months ago with the old hat. But yeah, there's fake wrap. It's usually very easy to identify that stuff. So just educate yourself on this stuff before, and make sure you pay with a method that is refundable. So we got all kinds of hockey cards, baseball cards. We got newish Pokemon. We got Sun and Moon Pokemon here. So clearly they knew what they had. We got just for the sneaker heads out front here. We got the bait Nikes. We got the bait Nikes to go, the G-Baller Nikes to go with the Pokemon stuff. Pokemon games. We got some, I don't know how old these Leonhardt boxes are, but not very. Spoiler. We probably have some sports N64 games. We have Pokemon cards up on the wall. So I don't know about you guys, but somebody that's putting their Pokemon stuff in acrylic cases is probably not also just taking binder pages of Pokemon cards and sticking them on the wall. Same with the sports cards. This is just like the polar opposite of what's going on here. Like we got protruding screws here, so it really leads me to believe that this is just a shed that they're taking a picture of the inside of. There's like a tablecloth or something that's put on the floor to kind of hide the fact that this is not actually a storage unit. As far as I can tell, guys, not a storage unit. Maybe you guys are aware of some kind of storage unit that would look like this. I mean, regardless, I guess that's not really important. We got a couple of musical instruments to make it look like it's an actual gamer card collecting game store. We got a Game Boy propped up here. It's interesting how all the booster boxes are laid out. Again, a desolator will tell you that everyone does this in their storage locker, but I'm here to tell you that they don't. They're not putting it on display so that you can, if you go in, you know what to steal. And they're certainly not putting pages of baseball cards and Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards up on the walls. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But again, if people are looking at this and maybe they're not totally familiar with the fakes and everything else, then I can see them getting trapped by something like this. So it's hard to tell with these the theme decks. They never really took them out to let us take a look at the seal or the sides or anything like that. But yeah, all the booster boxes, extremely resealed, extremely fake. I'm pretty sure I've seen images of these exact ones at one point or another. Probably when I was doing those reseal videos, someone sent them to me. But yeah, we got N64 stuff here again, trying to like make it look like it's a nostalgia haven. We got all kinds of sneakers. We got a guitar. Any girl with a guitar is hot. If you know that reference, good on you. We have as new as Lost Thunder, so the end of Sun and Moon. We got the Pikachu Happy Meal, very cool. And we have looks like fake Game Boy box games. So probably fake boxes for the Game Boy games. Some vintage Pokemon cards that are just happen to be that the binder is open so that you can see them. Again, guys, like people don't just leave. They're just gonna be like, oh well, I guess I was half looking. I looked through half my binder, so I'm just gonna put a Happy Meal on top of it here to hold it down. We got some modern magic stuff. Maybe Desolator can tell us whether those are real or not. They're probably real. It looks like they're open actually. They might be open. Regardless, little to no value compared to what they're trying to bait out for the purchase of this at $30,000. Again, we got what? There's just a pack laying here. You got to make sure you showcase all the like really vintage and expensive stuff. That way, people know what they're bidding on. All right, so we got a little bit of a closer look at the boxes here, still in the package. We're gonna come up on. So here he said, Simon said that we had a little bit of an issue here with the crimp or the seal being like really wild. I think more importantly is the fact that the box is like very beat up. The wrap is not beat up, and the wrap damage would match that if it was truly, you know, the original seal. That's without taking a look at the logos themselves are wrong, and this is something just like all you have to do usually is look up examples of real boxes, whether they're ones that people have opened, to make sure that the wrap looks like as it should. There are differences, but the logos are a dead giveaway in this instance. And I've had many people ask me if boxes are real. Here we got a beat up rocket box. This is probably one of the ones that I've seen before. Very beat up, and again, pristine. We have even the edges here that are worn down on the box itself, yet we have zero wear on the Wizards logos. And again, guys, I know the Wizard logos, they're wrong. They should have a copyright R. They're wrong shape and size because they're Etsy wrap. Next photo. So here even more. You can kind of see it's all the same wrap on all of these boxes, all pristine wrap, all beat up boxes. Here's an even closer look. You can tell that this thing has been opened, that it's lived part of its life without the wrap on it, and that the wrap would certainly not look like that if it was still on there. So that's just it. If we were completely ignoring the fact that this is clearly the fake Etsy wrap, that's what we got to take a look at. Again, like look at the wear and tear on the box itself. You can clearly see that it's been opened. You can see the little flaps where where it bends to look like a display. That has been done to the box. So here's the final message before we get into the next part of this, where we will, I guess maybe there's a couple more things that we need to take a look at, and then we'll get into the phone call itself. We got to call Richard. We got to tell Richard what's up. So here we have it, the final text after he sends the images. Here are the images of the boxes outside of the containers, the protective cases, as you will. And Simon says, thanks for sending those pictures. Some things don't look right, and I'd like a refund on the deposit. Some of the boxes have been resealed. Sorry, this won't work out. And of course, at this point, our boy Richard goes dark, and he runs off with $1,000. Not cool, Richard. Not cool. All right, before we get into the phone call, let's take a look. This is the most important part here of this entire situation, and is going to give us 100% certainty that we got the right Richard. We got the right Richard Cintron. He is, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I don't care. You're a piece of shit. You ripped people off. I'll pronounce your name wrong until the end of time. So we have the transaction, the $1,000 transaction, the fee for the storage deposit. Very cool. Why is that important, you say? Well, you see, in order to have a PayPal, you need to have an email, right? So let's say we find the right Richard. We find the right Richard Cintron that owns the email address richard.cintron@yahoo.com. It's probably pretty safe to assume the guy that took the $1,000 is the same Richard Cintron that owns that email address, right? Right. All right. So before we piss him off, we're going to make sure that we ask that so that we know we have the right Richard. We have all his details. It's all going to law enforcement. And here's how the call went.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Richard Cintron, please?
Max is speaking.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. Max is speaking.
Yeah, it's Rattle, Mike. I'm just do I have the right Richard by chance? Or do you have the email richard.cintron@yahoo.com?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, it's you that I want to reach out to then. I just have some questions. Mostly want to know what's going on with the Enrich gaming stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. It's like your PayPal address comes up with that. So I'm just curious.
I don't have no PayPal.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure you do, but yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about some stuff involving your PayPal address and some misdeeds that you've done.
Some what?
Some misdeeds. So do you often post storage units by any chance?
No.
Okay. You've never posted a storage unit?
No.
You didn't take any money from anyone?
No.
For a storage unit that you posted with some resealed Pokemon items inside them?
No.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you did. Or you got a random payment for $1,000 from someone. At bare minimum.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So, first of all, you called me from a private number.
Right.
So I don't know who you are.
No, you don't have to know who I am. I'm going to offer you the chance to make it right.
Well, you could do whatever you want.
No. I'm gonna give you the chance to make it right, or I'm going to get law enforcement involved because I know absolutely everything about you, and you ripped people off.
You could do whatever you want because I haven't done nothing, so it don't matter to me.
You definitely have, and you left a big fat trail behind.
Okay, no problem. Do whatever you have to do.
If you'd like to talk to me about it, we can. If you'd like to make it right, you can. If it's only $1,000, I suggest you do so.
what you're talking about.
You definitely do.
Okay. Have a good day.
See you later. All right, guys. So that's it. I have all his information. I didn't want to play ball, but he was nice enough to confirm that he was the correct Richard. I already knew, just based on his location, that it was probably him, but very nice of him to confirm the fact that he owns the email address, that's his name, that's his email address that took the $1,000. And yeah, he doesn't want to make it right, so it's okay. We'll do it the hard way. We got the police report in progress, and he can pay it back that way. Whether he does time, or whether he has to pay back any of that stuff, but most importantly, that he isn't doing this to anyone else. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for looking after each other. Thanks for being around. Thanks for joining the Discord, and thanks for being you. Take care.